Okay, so when it comes to theory for songwriting, there's a few things that you want to be thinking about when you're writing your songs. The first thing is, do you want it to be a happy sounding song or a sad sounding song? What is your topic? What are you thinking about? Is it a song that's about loneliness and heartache? Because you probably don't want that super upbeat. Now, every now and then they change it up and they do that, but that is the odd situation. So there's something called major, and that's where it sounds happy. Here that sounds, it's called a major chord. You're in a major key. All right, so the scale in a major key would be this. That's what you're used to hearing, okay? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you're in a minor key, hear that? It sounds a little bit darker. In those keys, the 3 is brought down. So instead of the 3 being up, ba, 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 here this 3 goes down. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Hear that? Now, like I said, because this is the simple, basic version of songwriting, we are not going to mess with all sorts of different keys. We're going to stick with the key of C because there's no sharps or flats or anything, and I already showed you the basic notes in that key. So, again, here's what the piano looks like in that key, the different notes: C, D, E, F, and G, A, B, and C. Now, you can play any of those notes when you're making up a song when you're looking for your melody. Say you have a melody line that says, I have been traveling. You can choose, you're going to normally start on a C because you're in the key of C, and you can choose any of the notes you want and test it out, see what you like. C, G, F, E, I have been traveling. Something along those lines, okay? It's just the notes of the C scale. I picked C, G, F, E, D. Pretty simple. Now, you can change it up, you can do any order that you want, but the important thing that really changed my songwriting game is when it came down to finding the right chords in any key, and that's where the patterns come into play. That's where it gets kind of simple, and you get to see how this complicated thing of songwriting, it gets to be patterns, all right? So, you can see the scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you'll notice, the main chords in that key are just taking the main note, C, of the key, the 1, and building a chord up on it. Now, here's what that means. If you actually take and look at the piano, say I'm looking at C, okay? And you take every other note, that becomes a chord, okay? 3 notes at a time, all right? Now, in the key of C, because I'm starting on a C, that is one of the main chords in the key. Now, if you look at this next slide, you can see that the main chords you can take starting on a C. Now, you can go all the way up, start on a D, an E, an F, a G. You can start on all those ones going all the way up to a C, and that's 8 chords that you can choose when you're making your song, which one you would prefer. But the main ones in any song, most songs that you're going to use is the 1. So you start on the 1 and make a chord, which is your C. Now you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and you start on an F and make a chord. So F, A, C. And then you can go up 1 more to the G, which is technically the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the scale, and you make a chord starting on a G. So let's go over that one more time so you can see the visual. Starting on a C, an F, a G. That's the 1, the 4 chord, the 5 chord. Now, sometimes people get really crazy, and if you want to go to a 6, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is an A, right? Because you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and start again on A. I can play it down here if that's easier for you, because this is also an A. Hear how that chord sounds dark? It's called a minor chord. That's one of those ones that have a little bit of a sad sound to them. That's also the 6th chord. So sometimes people throw that one in there to make it interesting. So here's an example. Let's say we just wanted to write a super simple basic song starting on a 1 chord. Say, I have been traveling, starting on a C chord. Then you can go, let's just go up to the 4, which is going to be an F, just to test it out. I wandered far, and then back to C. No one could see me. Then let's just go to an A just for the fun of it. I was so lonely. Now I'm just making up words as I go along. But you see how easy it becomes to start making up songs. You just pick random chords as you go. You find the progression or the order of chords that you'd like. So say you want 3 chords. You want to do a C to an F, then maybe to an A, just for the heck of it. You can make up a verse, make up some words that go with it. You can change different rhythms, you can do all sorts of stuff. But here's a basic idea. You find a melody that goes with your C, C, D, 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 F, da, 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 and then down to an A, do, 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 do. Now you can go over and over again in that, and you can change up your patterns, but a lot of times in pop music, that's what they'll do. Is so say Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, any of those guys, they pick a chord progression. If you look on ultimateguitar.com, you can see their charts. You'll notice it just goes over and over again. You'll notice in the next song, in the piano section, I teach you Let It Be, it's just 4 chords. Starting on a C to an F, G, A. Or that Sam Smith song that I taught you guys is the C chord, the F chord, the G chord, and the A chord. It just does the same pattern over and over again. So check it out, look at some examples and start writing your first song. Pick some of those chords and start singing different melodies over top of it. And things that you think that could sound really good. It starts to become really fun when it doesn't feel as crazy, and it starts to make sense, and you're like, oh wait, this pattern is really cool. Or now I changed it up. Before I did a C to an F, now I'm gonna start on A, start on that minor chord, see what that sounds like, go to an F, and then come back and try some different things. But those will be your 4 main chords I want you to start the basics of songwriting with. C, F, G, and A. And if you go into the piano module, I'll show you those again and give you those examples of Let It Be. There's an Imagine Dragon song too if you want to test it out and see what different things will sound like. But that's just an idea for you. Again, coming up in the next month or two, if you want to dig down even deeper, I'll actually play all the scales, all the different keys for you and show you what that looks like, give you all the different progressions and minor and major keys so you can get a feel for that too. But this right now, I just wanted to be a beginner situation. I don't want you to dive in too deep and start to feel overwhelmed and like you're not really even sure what's happening. I want you to get the basics really, really strong before you go into that next section. So work on those few chords, work on those scales, work on those intervals, getting the ear training really strong before you can start getting into the crazy stuff. But you're doing a great job. Keep pushing along. If you start to feel confused or you're feeling like, oh man, just take a little bit at a time, watch the video again. If you need to contact me, feel free. I would love to answer questions and see how to make it easier for you. Again, keep up the great work. Not everybody keeps at it like this. So many people quit before they get to these good things, and songwriting is so fun. Keep it up, enjoy the process as you go, and know that there might be bumps along the way, but just keep at it, keep persisting, and enjoy the process.